Hello everybody, my name is Eldar and I am alumni of the Mindtek school, and I have here with me Eldar. Eldar is actually one of my mentors, and I am lucky enough to interview him and pick his brain about how to go through the interviews, but specifically interview with the hiring manager.
Yeah, like Eldar mentioned, my name is Eldar. I am one of the mentors. Soft skills is the classes that I'm teaching. And usually I deal with questions, behavioral questions, and overall how to act on a project, being new, being experienced, and how to answer all the, recruitment related questions.
The first question is, of course, tell me about yourself and maybe a last project, and then how do you think the students, everyone who is applying for jobs should answer this question?
Practice that question a lot. Do not give like, hey, I am IT guy who knows this tool, that tool, the other tool. I think what companies looking for, number one is your personality. Okay. And then obviously it's professional environment. You need to also show off with your tools and everything. So if it's for testing, you need to show why testing. You need to show that's your passion. Why did you decide to do testing? Most of testers, they come from different backgrounds, like teaching background, accounting background. I myself was accountant back years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to justify, you need to convince people like why, and why do you think you are a good fit for that role? And I would say find something unique and be natural. You need to match what you're thinking and what you're saying, and then it is convincing. If you think like, okay, I'm not a good tester, and you're explaining that you are a good tester, I don't think it's going to be convincing.
Right.
Okay? So not only like read about tools, learn Java, learn Selenium, learn Python and other tools that you need for testing, for automation, but also read about testing. Read, let's say, how Google does testing. Read how Apple does testing, how Microsoft does testing. Listen podcasts, listen to YouTubers, regardless of their origin. Like testing is same testing in India, same testing in Canada, same testing in UK. So the more you read, the more you listen, the more it becomes your passion. So once it becomes your passion, if they ask, tell me about yourself, probably your first response is going to be, where do I start? Like, so much to tell about yourself and how you are related to testing and why it is your passion, why you will be a good fit. I think this one preparation will shoot many questions in one shot.
Why are you looking for a new position, and what are your expectations from the new company or the new team? So what about this question?
That's also a very good question. Obviously all companies are looking for the right candidate, and they all need to know all this. It's not only companies looking for the right candidates, also candidate is looking for the right company. Because if you don't feel like it's a good company for you, I wouldn't recommend going for it just for money. Why? Because after 2-3 months you'll be on the market again, and you'll be looking for a new position again. But back to your question, why are you looking for a new position? A real tester, a real experienced guy, he or she will be looking for a new position if they are in comfort zone. If you are in comfort zone, it means you're not learning anything. Okay? If you're not learning anything, market is not constant in one place. It's evolving, it's improving, and you need to keep up with the market. Okay? So number one reason I would recommend saying it's you are in comfort zone, you're looking for new challenges. Okay? Let's say you used to be a junior, you can mention that you're looking for a more challenging roles in terms of you get challenges and you get paid more. You can mention the salary. But again, make sure you match what you think and what you are saying. Then it is convincing. What are the bad answers? I wouldn't say like, hey, obviously they didn't like me and they're gonna let me go. But they wanna let me go, right? That's not a good answer. Or my contract is ending. They may think like, so your contract is ending, why they're not renewing your contract? Okay? It is possible, even for a good tester, that contract is ending and they're not renewing, but you need to basically explain why they're not renewing and give a reasonable answer. When they ask this type of questions, students think like, hey, it should be something very complicated and it should be something very realistic. At Mindtek school, as you know, Eldar, we implement, after some time, after explaining the concepts of Agile, Scrum and everything, we implement sprints, 2-week sprints, and we give stories, we give projects, we divide testers into teams, and there you go, challenges start, right? Some students are remote, some students are in class, right? So same thing happening in real world environments. Some work offshore, some work, let's say, in India, in Ukraine, in Europe somewhere, right? Your time zones are different. So this is a challenge. You need to wake up early, or maybe they need to stay late, like reaching out to people, communication. That's a challenge. And just pick one challenge and right away, right? You need to give a solution. How did you handle that challenge? Because any work, not only IT, any work is all about challenges. The goal is not to have or to find a place where we don't have challenges. The goal is, how do we handle challenges? And once you mention challenge, once students mention challenges, what is your solution? How did you contribute to resolve that challenge?
They might will ask about challenging testing scenario or some technical challenging skill that you had to learn really quick.
That's why we have sprints, and we start with giving basic tasks, like with simple applications, web applications, where testers actually do their testing. And what I see in students is like, hey, this is a very simple application, but in that simple application, some fields are not working, some requirements are not matching. Let's say length requirements, or if it's required or optional field, or some drop downs, they have extra fields in that drop down, or sometimes it's a dynamic, let's say, web element, and it's very hard to find it. Students, because they lack experience, they try to find, and it's not working. Here we go, technical challenge. Okay, sometimes our environment is not stable. It's very hard to have, as a school, it's very hard to have like a real-like environment where everything is working perfectly. It's like dev or QA environments in the companies. It's also not like production environments, right? They also struggle. And sometimes the environment is not stable. It's just not working. What I think students should do, every time they face technical challenge, they should write it down.
How about the challenging situation between your teammates? So when there's some kind of disagreement regarding like a testing approach or a defect, and how did you resolve it?
Work environment, keep it professional. Do not share anything personal. And it's going to help to eliminate all these drama problems. But in terms of, let's say, you are suggesting one tool, and let's say another tester suggesting another tool, you may be right or you may be wrong. At the end of the day, it's a team who decides. And you just need to list pros and cons about tools, right? Some may be paid, some may be free. Maybe company doesn't want free because of the security levels, or because of maybe tomorrow it's not going to be like a long-term supported tool. It's better maybe sometimes to get a paid version so you have like long-term support. Present your artifacts, like why you think it's a good tool and why you think it's not a good tool, and as a team you guys decide.
Tell me about your strengths, and the other one is, help me out with that.
Weaknesses.
Weaknesses,
Yes.
yeah, right, correct. So yeah, I mean, about the strengths, it's obviously like, that's pretty cool question. I think you can go off, right? How about the weaknesses? How would you go about this question?
Very
Yes.
good, Tyler. So even strength, I would say, do your homework. Let's say they send you a job description, right, or job requirements, and make sure you read the requirements, not just skim through, not like look through very fast, line by line, read the requirements, look what they're looking for. Let's say if you feel like it is a manual testing position, even if your strength is super duper coding, it's not a good idea to keep talking about coding. Maybe you should talk more about how do you keep yourself awake doing manual testing, or how do you document manual testing? Okay, that's the strengths part. So even though my strength, let's say, is Java, if position is mainly focused on manual testing, no point of talking about Java, right? So you need to, that's why you need to make sure you do your homework. Read what the recruiters share. And about weakness, we all people, we all human, we have weaknesses. If they ask for weaknesses, I am detail oriented, and sometimes I spend too much time on details. That's weakness because you don't move on. Okay. And how do I handle it? Like, see, I'm giving something negative about myself, and right away I need to give something positive. Hey, I set time, let's say 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, the best solution I come up with, I just go with that solution. Okay. Something negative right away. How do you make it positive?
What do you do, and how you keep yourself updated with the latest QA methodologies, tools? Yeah, like when they ask that, what specifically do they want to hear from you?
So they're looking for someone who is interested in testing, any company. And if someone is interested in testing, let's say I'm interested in soccer, I would know every single team, Europe, United States, Asia, like everywhere. I'll probably have posters on my walls. So same thing for testing. If it's your passion, you need to improve yourself, right? How do you improve yourself? I would say on YouTube, make sure you know 3 to 5 channels that you follow, okay? On LinkedIn, same thing.
I just want a piece of advice from you for everyone who is on the market and conquering this world of interviews.
Yeah, most of the time testing role is underestimated. Usually people look at it as, hey, I'm going to study testing, but looks like it's not enough coding. It's easy coding and testing. In automation, you don't really need to be like like a developer level coding, right? So why development? They get paid more. I disagree. Just focus on testing. I know testers that make more than developers, plus bonuses, plus benefits like 50K worth of benefits, So my advice is focus on testing. If you feel like you're not doing a lot or you're not learning a lot, it means you're in comfort zone, and you need to leave your comfort zone.